Welcome to Dead by Daylight Roblox, Absence of Light, the 11th chapter. New map, Abadone City. While everything was right a month ago, something happened. Everything is broken now and no one is alive. Also, there is something hiding, but no one knows who and where it's hiding. But now, the Abadone City is used from the killer. New killer, the Oculus. A religious upbringing wasn't enough to keep Anna Shirk's belief alive after the sudden death of her father when she was still just a teenager. They had been very close. They enjoyed fishing, camping, and even hunting together up until his death. He was an electrical engineer employed at the local power plant. A freak accident in the substation adjoining the complex ended his life and left an empty space in Anna's. She became reclusive, struggled with depression, and even contemplated suicide on occasion. She started slacking in school, and her mother ended up pulling her from public school. She had good friends, but her mother don't wanted that. She knew she was indebted to it now. She was neither dead nor alive, she was a spectral vessel for a dark passenger that had moved into state. The rain and thunder drowned out Bishop's screams as Anna carried out the Oculus bidding. Neither of them ever returned home. The killer power is all-seeing eye. Her power, all-seeing eye, enables her to pierce through the dark to relentlessly hunt her prey. After initiating a chase with a survivor, she is able to activate her all-seeing eye. Upon activation, the chased survivor's aura becomes visible to her for the duration of the chase, and she can pass through any solid objects in pursuit of them. While all-seeing eye is active, the Oculus cannot be stunned and does not need to vault over windows or pallets. But consequently she cannot break pallets, damage generators, search lockers that her target has not hid in, or hit other survivors. All-seeing eye deactivates and enters a cooldown period after the target is either put into the dying state or escapes. While all-seeing eye is in cooldown, the Oculus is extra sensitive to flashlights. The Oculus comes with 3 new perks. The first perk is called Drowned Out. Hooked survivors' cries for help are muffled by their hopelessness. After a survivor is hooked, for a brief period of time, all other survivors are unable to see their aura beyond a certain range. The duration of the hooked survivor's invisibility is increased per tier, and the range at which other survivors can see their aura while the effect is active decreases per tier. The second perk is called Incapacitated. Hooking survivors leaves them handicapped. When a survivor gets hooked for the first time, one of their perks becomes disabled for the remainder of the match. If they get hooked a second time, another one of their perks also becomes disabled. At the first tier, this perk only affects the first 2 survivors hooked in the match. At the second tier, this perk can affect the first 3 survivors hooked in the match. At the third tier, this perk can affect all 4 survivors hooked in the match. And the last perk is called Sole Survivor. The killer becomes obsessed with one survivor. Each survivor's duration of their first 2 hook stages are decreased increasingly per tier. Only if all 3 of the other survivors have been sacrificed or killed, and the obsession is the only survivor remaining in the match, the killer is graced with a faint hint of mercy. Letting the obsession live to tell the tale awards the killer with a 2000, 3000, 5000 blood point reward per tier. New survivor, Mark. It was a lazy weekend for Mark Neller and his friends. They were the outdoorsy types, but there wasn't much to do in the small industrial town where they lived. He wanted to take one other friend called Katie, but he doesn't know if that was a good choice. They don't know each other, but he just wants to see her. After getting some lunch at the local pizza joint, Mark and 3 of his friends gathered together out back behind an old abandoned power plant at the edge of town. Disguised in hoodies and ski masks or bandanas covering their faces, and armed with cans of colorful spray paint, they were going to leave their mark on the derelict facility. Mark comes with 3 new perks. The first perk is called I Won't Get Caught. The survivor knows from experience how to make a quick getaway. If the survivor has remained undetected within the killer's terror radius for 15 seconds per tier, they will be able to sprint away from danger without leaving a trail. They will not leave scratch marks for 4, 5, 6 seconds per tier. Once the time is up, the survivor must again remain undetected within the killer's terror radius to reactivate the effect. The second perk is called Where'd He Go? The survivor's quick movements are hard to track. When the survivor performs a fast vault over a pallet or through a window, the audible and visual cue the killer receives will be delayed by 1, 2, 3 seconds per tier, incorrectly placing where the survivor is located and disorienting the killer. And the last perk is called Nuisance. If the survivor is the killer's obsession, successfully stunning the killer for 2 times per tier will cause one of the killer's perks to become disabled. This can be repeated up to 3 times, potentially resulting in all of the killer's perks being disabled. This does not affect hex perks. Sacrificing or killing the obsession will restore the killer's disabled perks. Sometimes it's better to be alone or to have someone that will defense you. The Absence of Light chapter goes online soon, in Dead by Daylight.